Coming up, we have a laser that is going to blow your mind. All kinds of great personalized stuff for your workshop, for your home, and for your garage. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned to Motorhead Garage.
Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest in exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Motorhead Garage is presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
Welcome to Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. As you can see, our friends from AP Laser are here, and we're having a great time doing some cool projects, including one we'll show you later here on that barrel. As you know, with AP Laser, lots of cool automotive stuff you can do. We've seen rods and pistons engraved. We've seen car panels. We've seen an entire hood done. And you know what? If you have tools, you can do something cool like this. Personalize it for yourself or for a friend. And this one says David on it. I wish it were mine. It's pretty cool looking, but it actually belongs to my buddy David over here. He is with Mayhem Laser. And David, you've got all kinds of cool stuff you brought in with you, and you've been working with AP Laser for a couple of years. What do you love about AP Laser?
I love the fact that you can literally do just about anything with the open architecture. They have pretty much any materials, you know, anywhere from a wrench to wood products, tumblers. I mean, just anything you can think of, it can be done one way or another.
Now, you touched on the open architecture. Explain that.
AP Laser has a patent on having an open bottom, so they have a Z-table on their bigger machines that comes out, so you can roll literally anything from barrel, casket, granite headstones, anything you can think of.
Wow, and you do some of these barrels on the tops as well, so what do you do to accommodate for that?
For that, my machine, I built some leg extensions, so mine's lifted just slightly higher. But I'm able to, with that lift, I'm able to roll the barrel directly under there just like this, center it up, engrave it, and then whenever I'm done, I just roll it over on its side, and I can do the sides of it as well.
So virtually any size object, as long as it fits under the table, it's going to work. In any material, basically. I've seen all kinds of stuff here. Now tell me some of the stuff you brought in. This piece with the windrows on it is something we just pulled out of there, and it looks fantastic already without any finish.
Yes, I do a lot of barrel stuff. That's probably my biggest seller, but this whiskey barrel we just did, this one's not finished yet. This one over here is one that I've already finished.
And beautiful pieces, and you know, you take something that's plain Jane as a barrel or a piece of wood or a door and make it into something personalized. That's what really makes it special, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Definitely a big hit with you know, veterans, especially police officers, first responders. I do a lot of work for all of them as well. Everybody really loves it.
Let's talk about some of the other pieces you've brought here. Just a regular drink mug here, but it's no longer just a regular mug because you have changed it and customized it.
Oh yeah, do a lot of tumblers. We can put that on our rotary device and it'll actually rotate as it engraves the way we need it to. I've used it for the rotary device for even mini barrels that I've ordered from different places and done them that way too.
What's it like to go from things like these plates to something like wood and to go back and forth? How hard is that transition?
It's all actually pretty easy. The Z-table just rolls in and out, so if you're going from a bigger piece to a smaller one, you just roll it right back underneath there. And as far as different materials, it's really just changing your speed and heat settings. So as long as you have those baseline settings, you can literally go from one thing straight into another just seamlessly.
How do you learn about what to do for which materials?
AP Laser, they have a chat line that you can call anytime, 24/7 tech support. They also, with their machines, it's a turnkey package, so they'll give you a laptop, everything else you need. And on that laptop will actually have all the baseline settings for your general materials for, you know, whether it be wood, coated metals, acrylic, glass, anything like that will all have a baseline setting, and then you can play with it from there and see what you like.
And they give you great tech support, but how do they connect you with other users as well?
They also have some very active Facebook pages. They have a before you buy page if you're interested in buying and kind of want to talk to some of us who already have machines, see what we're doing. A lot of us post a lot on there. And then we also have a user group page for after you've already gotten a machine, and a lot of us bounce ideas off of each other on there. If we know somebody's done, you know, a lot of cups and you're trying to figure out your cup setting, can't get it right, you can say, hey, what did you use? And there's always somebody very quick to respond to where you can go either way with it. You
told me a great story. Last night you realized you needed something additional for the show, so you had to go to work.
Yes, last night I realized that I didn't have any t-shirts with my business stuff on there, so I wanted to play around and actually threw this t-shirt right into Laser last night, ran it first time, and there you go.
A tremendous versatility. You can go from stone to wood to metal, all kinds of stuff, and you can do barrels, of course. Let's take a look and see how our Motorhead barrel is doing here. just finished up, and that looks amazing. You can check out AP Laser, all the cool stuff it can do. Find them at aplaser.com. And you can find us coming up next, because there's more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings right around the corner.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. Rhino USA, the leader in superior power sports accessories. Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. And by NH Oil Undercoating, the official oil-based rust prevention system.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now, this is another one that comes to us from the I wish I'd have thought of that department. It's an invention that you're going to love if you're an off-roader. And this came, Glenn, from, they say necessity is the mother of invention.
Right.
What's the problem you discovered?
You know, one of the things is the lack of any winches other than on the front of the vehicle. And talking to friends of mine that did off-roading as well, I asked them, I said, when you guys are doing what you're doing, when you're going to wreck, you're going to go face forward, into a ditch, or to a ravine or whatever. If the only place the winch can go is on the front of the vehicle, what do? You
can't access your winch. Hopefully you have a buddy, right?
Right. You have to have a friend for sure. Or snatch block set up. Where it's very cumbersome. You have to figure out how to get the right angles to be able to pull yourself up. How do you really figure that out? And so that's kind of what I set out to figure out. How to make a system where you could put it anywhere where it's a portable winch system, porta winch, anywhere on your tube chassis. And that's what we've done. Anything from 1.5 inch to 2 inch diameter, you can put that on your buggy.
Yeah, so tell me what it's made of here. And you've got a standard winch in here.
Yeah, it's a standard 3,000-pound winch, right?
Which comes with it. And
yep.
Then the housing here, this is patented.
Right, 6061 aerospace grade aluminum.
And no one else is making this?
Nobody else making it. It's patented, yes.
And how does it attach to the roll cage?
We have 2 clamps here, and under the clamps is glued high durometer rubber. It's a 60 durometer rubber. It's a very tough, strong rubber. And what it does allow you to do is it keeps it on the buggy, right? Keeps it as still as can be. Don't have any issues with that. But it does still have some flexibility so that when you are pulling it up, to lift your vehicle off the ground, to change your tires or to wash under your vehicle or whatever else you would do, it will actually adjust to the angle of that. So it actually, assists in the way it does it.
It's not just for rescuing you. There's also some other uses based on where you put it on the cage as well.
Right. Yes, you can put it on the side of the actual cage itself, and that will allow you to lift it up to change your front tire, your rear tire, something like that. You can put it on the front of your buggy to lift it up into a tree, let's say, and you can wash off the bottom of your buggy because it's very difficult with the skid plates being full of mud. You have to wash them out every single time. If you lift it up, and it'll drain a lot easier if you do that. You can lift it up in the back to be able to change oil or get to access the engine a little bit easier. And then one of the coolest things I like about it is, when for the hunters out there that have the trail vehicles, you can actually mount it in the back of the cage near the roof, and it allows you to pull, let's say, a 175-pound buck.
Obviously, you need power, so how do you connect it to the battery?
Okay, so it has quick disconnect that that you hook up to it. Then it has a heavy gauge, 2-gauge battery cable that we use for that as well. And we provide enough lead to go to the rear of the vehicle, to the front of the vehicle, and you can take it on any side of the vehicle. You mount it on the left side of the vehicle, you have enough lead to go the front to back. You mount it on the right side of the vehicle, you can go the front to back on that one as well. You get an additional couple feet to do that with as well.
It works on your Jeep, works on your UTV, gives you tons of utility for the price of a standard winch. You're going to want this if you're an off-roader. Go check it out online. So you've been driving around lately and you are melting. Your air conditioning system is letting you down, but there's probably nothing wrong with your vehicle. It's probably just refrigerant and you need a recharge. Well, getting your R134A recharged and refilled can run you a few $100 if you take it to the shop, but now you can do it yourself at a fraction of the cost thanks to AC Avalanche. AC Avalanche is the smart way to recharge. It's affordable, it's faster, and it's easier. In fact, it's much easier than you might think. It'll work on the vast majority of cars and trucks, and it's safe for hybrids and electric vehicles too. AC Avalanche comes with a pressure gauge on the can, but a lot of cars these days have thermal expansion valves, essentially negating gauges like that, and that means you could overcharge or undercharge your system. But do not fear, because AC Avalanche took care of that problem. Every can comes with a pair of smart clips. You just stick these on the air vent and the colors will change when your car reaches the right temperature and the right amount of pressure. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. Here's how you use AC Avalanche. You start your vehicle and you let it run for a few minutes, turn the air conditioning on to maximum cool and close the doors. That lets your AC system get working to its fullest capacity. And once you've done that, take the smart clips off the can and clip them both to the center air vent of the vehicle. You shake up the can like you would any kind of aerosol and then attach the other end of the hose to the AC system. Where do you do that? Well, under the hood, you'll see 2 service ports on your air conditioning lines. We'll tap into the low side service port, and that's the port that usually has a plastic cap. It's located between the air compressor and the evaporator. The hose has a quick connector, so you pull the ring back while inserting the hose into that service port, and now you are ready to go. Push down on the button on the can and the refrigerant should start flowing, and you'll know it is flowing when the word avalanche on the can turns from white to blue. You sweep the can from 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock while AC Avalanche is flowing, and check the pressure about every 15 seconds or so. Once it reaches the range described in the chart on the can, let go of the button, check the smart clips. One should be blue and the other should be green. If you are all charged up, if they haven't changed colors, keep on going. If you have a thermal expansion valve and your gauge is not moving, then the smart clips are all you need to go by. When they've changed colors, you are cool, literally. As an added bonus, AC Avalanche also stops leaks. That'll save you time and save you money too. So remember, you don't need to take your car to the shop if your AC needs recharging. Just get AC Avalanche. It's the smart way to recharge. It's also the affordable way to recharge. Head to the interwebs and see where you can get it, and go to acavalanche.com to find out more. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coating, so don't go away.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, coming to you from Borla Commerce Park.
Most assuredly, the great way to a great looking car is all the products from the last coat. And last week we saw their most popular item, and it is TLC. And that's a great way to finish things off. And you could use that just by itself, but
Certainly
the foundation is what's really important. So if you want a perfect finish, you want to start with these 2 products over here. Tell me about Iron Off, first of all.
So Iron Off is our wheel cleaner. It will decontaminate the wheel. It removes the iron deposits from our brake pads and stopping. It will actually bleed a purple color when we get a reaction to iron. So if you use this on a clean wheel, you probably aren't going to see a lot of bleeding purple, but it's certainly going to clean the wheel. But when the wheel is embedded with iron, you are going to get the decontamination factor and see all the purple bleeding out and leave you with a nice clean wheel when you're done.
With chemicals eating away at the iron, is that going to harm my wheel?
No, it is pH neutral, so this only physically reacts with dirt, brake dust, and iron composites of that nature. So it is going to have no effect upon the clear coat or the finish of your wheel, besides making it look very nice and brilliant.
And what do I need to do to put it on?
So we are going to just literally spray it onto the surface on a cool wheel. We do not want a hot wheel. We do not want to do this in the sun either. So we want to make sure we're in the shade. We're going to let it sit for about 2 minutes or so, and within 10 to 30 seconds, you're going to see that reaction with the iron. If there's enough in the actual wheel surface, it will start melting it and bleeding it out of the surface. Pretty neat factor.
And while you're waiting for that to happen, you can fill up your wash bucket, and then you can get here to the last soap.
Yes.
When you're going to wash your vehicle.
So it's a great time to now take your last soap. You're going to use 3 ounces in a wash bucket. We like to use a 2-bucket wash method. So we'll use 3 ounces of soap in each bucket. We use 1 when we're done actually washing the surface. We're going to dip it into that. That cleans off our wash mitt. Then we go directly into our clean bucket, and that is now our physical soap medium to go back onto the surface. This will reduce swirls and scratching on your surface and keep the dirt into the wash bucket rather than going right back onto your vehicle. The last soap is also infused with our product TLC. This also gives a nice little coating when you're done finishing washing your vehicle that will last for about 2 weeks to 1 month. The last soap is also able to be used in a foam cannon for you guys that like that.
Well, these 2 products are a great foundation for a fantastic finish. And if you want to go all the way, you can check out the rest of their products at thelastcoat.com/Motorhead. A special deal for you Motorhead Garage fans. You know, these days there's a lot of wheel designs where you can actually see the brake caliper, so appearance is really important, and these are great looking brake calipers for your Ford here. But the color here isn't just about looks, Tom. It also has another purpose.
Yeah, there's appearance thing. You want to protect the part also, and there's several different ways to do that, and then there's hybrid combinations of the three key ways. This is powder coating, where you have the paint's a powder, and it's has one electrical charge, and the part is charged the opposite charge, and that draws the powder to the metal, and then you heat it up, bake it, and that gets this nice finish you have here. And then there's a variation of that called e-coating. There's all sorts of different trademark brand names for the electrophoretic coating, where you take the metal part and you put it in a bath of paint, and the paint's charged one polarity and the part's another charge, and that draws the paint into all the crevices and nooks and crannies of the part, like on the suspension part. Then the third way is involving zinc, and there's a zinc electroplating. You can take the part and dip it in a bath of zinc, where it's completely coated in zinc that protects the part from corrosion. Even aluminum parts corrode, and the corrosion layer on aluminum parts actually protects them, but if it keeps wearing away, then the part can kind of gradually disappear. So if you see an aluminum part that's shiny, like your wheels or a radiator, that's got a coating on it. So don't think, hey, I'm going to polish it up more, and you're actually scraping off the coating, and you'll actually encourage corrosion.
So you need a clear coat or something on top of that if you do that.
Right. If you buff something out, you have to protect it again. So yeah, these coatings are all very scientific and well done, and leave them as they are.
In the old days, you didn't have a problem with parts corroding because the car just didn't last that long. It all fell apart. But now it's more and more important to have these parts last longer because the vehicle's lasting longer.
Right. The body would rust away, but now the bodies last longer, and parts that never had enough time to corrode before do.
Rock Auto has all the parts your car will ever need, and high technology plays a big role in a lot of those parts. Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, will return right after this.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. Americana Pro Automotive, the hottest detailing products for your real-life Hot Wheels. SNS Diesel Motorsports, fuel systems on another level. And by Permatex, made for the professional in you. Time now for the lowdown with Magic Creeper.
The pickup truck. It's the most useful thing on the road, but you can make it even more useful than it is right now by carrying the Magic Creeper with you. Now, when you're at home and you want to maintain the truck, you need to get under the hood. Use the Magic Creeper as a fender cover. It'll save your paint if you love your truck like most people do. If you're checking the tire pressure, you can use this as a kneeling pad. Check around on all four sides, or if you're cleaning your wheels, you put the Magic Creeper down. It will save your knees. You'll be grateful for it. Of course, under the vehicle, the Magic Creeper is handy for getting underneath. Gives you a lot of extra clearance that you don't have with a regular creeper. In this case, we're going to go under to see if what's leaking is water or oil or something else we need to worry about. And of course, you want to carry the Magic Creeper inside the vehicle in case you have an emergency. It rolls right up. It only weighs 3 pounds. It's super compact, and it'll hide anywhere in the vehicle. So pull that thing out if you're beside the road. You need to change a tire. You can use that to keep your clothes dry and mud-free. And if you need to get under the vehicle, again, the Magic Creeper works perfectly. It gets dirty, you will not. And it goes where a regular creeper can't go. It can go over gravel, broken glass on the side of the road. You see it all the time. Any kind of debris, the Magic Creeper will sail right over it. It's durable, it's going to last, and it's easy to clean. One added bonus with the Magic Creeper, if you own a pickup truck, you can use it in the bed or use it in the back of your minivan for that matter if you don't have a truck. And you can use it as a conveyor belt for moving heavy objects. So if you've got a big box or some mulch or something like that, throw the bags of mulch onto the Magic Creeper in the center there, and you can move a few hundred pounds of stuff really easily just by pulling it back with the Magic Creeper. You've seen the trick where folks put a bunch of buckets and put all the mulch in the buckets. You can grab one bucket at a time. Well, you can grab 9 or 10 of them just by pulling the Magic Creeper out, make those a lot more accessible and a lot more handy. The Magic Creeper has infinite uses, and you can check out some of them at magiccreeper.com. That's also the place to buy the authentic Magic Creeper. They say necessity is the mother of invention, but every once in a while, a scientist is willing to accept a happy accident. Pasha, that's exactly what happened when you found Tribotex. What were you researching when you discovered this product?
We was working on artificial joints.
Artificial joints like hips.
Yes.
So how do you go from that to this?
People used materials that happen to be toxic, and that spurred a lot of innovation in this area. And we started looking at safe materials that slide on each other. And when they slide on each other, the particles don't attach to the surface, so they get removed after time from the interface. So we came up with the concept that when you make a nanoparticle and make it slippery only on one side, but adhesive on another side, grippy, then these particles, when they apply it to the surface only by one side, but not by another. And over time, when this process happens, it covers the area in the thick enough coating that compensates for the wear that happened there for decades.
So how did you go from that then to decide, hey, I can use this in a car?
It takes a long time to bring innovation to medical devices market. So when we use the technology in engines, the customers can get benefit way faster.
So it's all about nanoparticles, and effectively they make your car perform better, but they can also actually repair it. Is that correct?
Yes. Slow amount of damage cause excessive vibration that exacerbate the wear farther down the road. When you compensate for the wear early on in the game, your engine not just lasts longer, but rejuvenate to back when it was new.
So you can check out the science behind all of it, and you can find out what it can do for your vehicle. Go to tribotex.com. Well, before we head on out of here, I wanted to remind you that if you have a product you'd like to see on our show, email Jeff at masterstv.com. We're going to see you once again next week. In the meantime, so long from our entire crew here at Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings.